Hey YouTube, welcome back to another manga review. Today we are reviewing Do It or Die. Now this is something I picked up from the Mangamo app, one of the lowest rated apps that there are. I know it's probably not the best choice of app to subscribe for, but I don't know, it hasn't been that bad. Now this is an isekai, and you know how I often talk about those like sexually frustrating manga series where like the characters almost get together but it'll never actually happen. The romance is always like on the hook and it never really concludes until maybe the last episode or maybe the movie. This is one of those types of mangas that kind of puts a comedic spin on that and gives a reason for why the romance can never conclude. Similarly to how Peach Mermaid did that. So let me give you a brief explanation of the plot. We start off our story with the main character about to get hit by a train and die. He does not die. This is not one of those reincarnation isekais. Oh my god, I love how they draw the little stick figures in the background. What is this, me drawing this? But before he can die, he's actually transported or summoned to another world by a very powerful big busty wizard. Now being summoned to another world, for whatever reason, transferred his life energy into magical energy, which is now keeping him alive in this different world. And the reason why this busty wizard summoned him here is because she wants him to transfer that magical energy to her so that she can be uber powerful and defeat the big bad. And the way that he can transfer his magical power to her is by having sex with her. But wait! If he has sex with her and gives her his magical energy that's keeping him alive in this world, he will die because he won't have anything keeping him alive anymore. So she's trying to fuck him and kill him. Now this is part of the reason why I don't like the English translated title that they have on Mangamo. It doesn't capture the plot correctly. You make it sound like Do It or Die is like a choice. Either do it or die. But really, it's if you do it, you will die. It's not a choice. Those two are together. And if you try to search for this manga online with that English title, you're probably not gonna find it. The original title, which you'll be able to find it with, is Zettai ni Yatte Ikenai. I know I butchered that pronunciation, but that roughly translates to I absolutely cannot do it, which is a little more in line with what the actual plot of the manga is. So I don't like that English translated title. It makes it seem like this is going to be about something very, very different. So part of the comedy from the manga series is a battle of wills, of her seducing him and him trying not to fall to temptation because he will die if he has sex with her. But early on we find out that he can only access his power if he meets a certain condition. To be blunt, his power peaks when he gets boners. Don't you just love manga? So he finds this out early on when he sees her exposed and he gets a boner and he notices that he feels a magical energy. She notices it and she's able to quickly give a brief transfer by kissing him. And this doesn't permanently transfer all his magic to her, but it gives her a brief magic spike, which makes her even more powerful. And the busty wizard is already pretty powerful in this series, so you can imagine. But she doesn't understand that he has to be turned on in order for the magical transfer to work. She's under the impression that it's completely random. It just goes like right over her head. And he needs to keep that a secret because he does not want her to know that all she has to do to get his power is turn him on and have sex with him. So there you have it, the main character has magical boners. And it's kind of funny because he tries to use his magic on his own also, and in order to use it and make it work, he has to think of things that turn him on. It's very goofy, as you can imagine. And so a big part of this series is like being almost hentai, but you know that it's not going to go anywhere because he can't have sex. Like I said, you know, it's kind of playing off the comedy of sexual frustration. You'll have all these fan servicey scenarios, and despite him being turned on, he can't do anything to these girls. Now till then, they go on travels together and, you know, eventually they become more buddy-buddy, and she decides to work with him and find out a way to transfer his power without killing him in the process. So hopefully they'll figure that out along the line. Now the series is still ongoing, and as you go further into the series, they start expanding more on the world, you know, different rules. You know how these mangakas love making their own world and their own rules and exploring. It's kind of like Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? It started off kind of goofy, and then they actually started expanding on the world and creating a plot. It's kind of like what we're getting with this. It's a very goofy scenario, but they did expand more upon it. We find out as an audience that there are other people from his world who are here. We add more people to the adventure party, and of course there's the big bad who eventually we have to defeat. And while that may be all classic isekai stuff, I do find that type of stuff charming in general. I like adventure. It's fun. And while they're expanding on the world and, you know, adding more characters and more serious stories down the line, it still remains very lighthearted because, you know, when you have magical boners, I can't imagine the series getting too serious. But yeah, if you are looking for something that's just fun and silly, genuinely, it is funny. And I did have a good time reading it. If you're looking for something like that, I'd recommend this. Check it out. If you do have the Mangamo app, it is on there. Should I do a review of Mangamo? Do you want to hear what I think of all the different manga subscription apps out there? I'm curious about trying them all and like maybe making a tier list video, but let me know what you think about that idea before I go through all that trouble to download all of these apps. So the English title is Do It or Die, but like I said, you'll have an easier time looking it up if you type in the Japanese name, which is Zettai ni Yatte wa Ikenai. Like I said, it's just fun, it's lighthearted, it's goofy, and it's stupid, and I love it. So that's all I have for you today, guys. If you have other manga that you'd like me to check out and review on the channel, make sure that you type that into the comments section. And if you have read this manga, let me know what you think about it down below. If you did enjoy watching, remember to like, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or more videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Till then, guys. Bye!
Program restart.